We're in Iowa, basically, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska too. Service essentially with news, weather, markets, and music all day through.
Hi KMA Land, I'm Nick Wetzel along with Doris Sandquist. We're taking another trip down KMA Memory Lane as we celebrate our 85 years. And Doris, you had a special birthday in April. How old are you?
85 years old.
85, so you were 4 months old when KMA hit the airwaves.
That's right.
Well, great. Now, do you remember the first memory that you had of KMA?
Well, we had battery radios because we didn't have electricity. But truthfully, I remember country school and the country music, and I didn't like that. I wanted the popular stuff, you know. Frank Field was a staple, that's for sure.
Always woke up with him and listened to the weather forecast in the morning. Now, Doris, you have a very special memory with World War II and where your husband was located. Tell us about that story and how KMA helped you kind of locate where your husband was.
Okay, I was at home with my parents with a new baby while he was in the Pacific, and I had no idea where. So I woke up one morning to the news on the radio that the 81st Division had invaded the Peleliu group in the Pacific, and that's how I knew where he was. Didn't hear from him for weeks.
Long before internet, Facebook, email, all that stuff.
That's what nowadays everybody knows. But you know, I don't know about that's such a good thing.
You have some history with KMA with your son, Dale Sandquist, and the whole Stump Dale. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I don't know how many years they did it. It was Chuck and Don. Did it.
Back in the 80s?
Oh, I expect it was back that far.
Yeah.
And they'd call in the afternoon. They'd call him in the afternoon and try to stump him with athletic questions. And they didn't usually stump him.
They didn't stump him very often, did they?
No.
Was that when he was coaching at Trainer? Or teaching at Trainer?
I don't know whether that was after he came to Shannon. I don't really know the timing on that, but it was a long time before he worked for him.
And then after Dale got out of teaching, he came to work for KMA in the sports department. So how did that make you feel growing up with KMA and listening to KMA and then having your son on there full time?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was great fun.
Now you also won something from KMA not too long. Well, 20 years ago. What was it?
20 years ago, KMA sponsored a trip to the NCAA Final Four in Seattle, and people had to pick the Final Four teams before they, after they were. And Doug kind of helped me a little bit. Doug Howard was 14. He kind of helped me a little bit. So actually, I won the trip, and Doug was 14, and I was probably 65, I suppose. Yeah. And we went to Seattle and had a wonderful time. Wow. They gave us the trip and $100 spending money, and we had a ball.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat.
Yeah. So
what's the best thing that you like about KMA today? Because it's obviously changed in 85 years, but what's the best thing you like about KMA today?
Well, the sports department, naturally. The sports department, naturally. I've been a part of that for 50 years because all my kids were, my oldest daughter's 65, and from the time she was in junior high and on up, KMA's been a big part of our lives. Sports.
Was it always a comfort knowing that KMA was there for severe weather or breaking news?
Oh, heavens yes, and I still do that. Still do that, yeah.
Well, Doris, we're glad that you spent 85 years listening to KMA. We appreciate it, and we look for many more years from you.
Okay.
That's Doris Sandquist, and I'm Nick Wetzel with this trip down memory lane for KMA.
Be happy in every way. 960 in Shenandoah, KM.